$1.3 trillion. That's how much value the semiconductor industry has lost in the last 72 hours. And on the same day, Microsoft quietly eliminated 4,800 more jobs, bringing the 2026 total to over 120,000 tech layoffs, where AI was cited as the reason. Two headlines. Two completely contradictory stories. On one side, AI is the biggest wealth creator the world has ever seen. On the other, it's destroying jobs faster than any technology in modern history. But here's where it gets interesting. Both of those stories are surface-level noise. They're both true, and neither of them is the story that actually matters. Let's start with what just happened. Monday morning, July 7th, Microsoft's official blog posted a title that looked like corporate jargon: the latest in our company transformation. Inside, 4,800 roles eliminated, 2.1% of the global workforce gone. Microsoft's revenue? Up. Their AI investment pipeline? Overflowing. They didn't cut jobs because they're struggling. They cut jobs because they're redirecting human salaries into GPU clusters, support teams into data centers, Xbox divisions into Azure AI. And Microsoft isn't alone. According to Layoffs.fi, roughly 120,000 tech roles have been cut in 2026. Oracle cut 21,000 jobs, 13% of their workforce. Meta laid off 8,000 people while moving 7,000 into AI roles. Cloudflare cut 20% of its staff the same quarter it posted the highest revenue in company history. Coinbase eliminated 700 positions and announced it would experiment with, quote, one-person teams, where AI handles what used to take entire departments. Now here's the part most people talking about this story completely miss. While the layoffs were making headlines, something else was happening that barely got covered. Semiconductor stocks, the companies that actually manufacture the chips powering all this AI, just experienced one of the fastest sell-offs in Wall Street history. On Monday, as the layoff news broke, the semiconductor index shed over $1 trillion in market value. Intel dropped 21%. Broadcom lost $300 billion in a single trading session, one of the biggest single-day losses for any company, ever. And the trigger? Broadcom beat their earnings. They beat them, but their AI sales guidance for the next quarter came in a few $100 million light. A rounding error for a company worth nearly $2 trillion. And that's when $300 billion vanished. In one day. Over a rounding error. That's the tell. When being slightly less than perfect costs you more than $250 billion, you're not looking at a healthy market. You're looking at one priced for perfection, and perfection is unsustainable by definition. So here's the real question. How did we get here? How did an industry generating record revenue simultaneously produce record layoffs and record stock market losses? The answer lives in a framework that's been around longer than the stock market itself. Going back to Adam Smith in the 1700s, modernized into what economists call the capital cycle theory. It works in 4 steps. Step 1. The flood. A new technology appears. The returns look irresistible. Capital pours in from every direction. Step 2. The boom. Competitors pile in faster than demand can grow. Everybody's building. Everybody's spending. The party looks unstoppable. Step 3. The collapse. All that supply finally crushes the very returns that attracted the investment in the first place. Prices fall. Companies fail. A lot of people lose a lot of money. Step 4. The inheritance. Capital flees. The builders go bankrupt. And someone walks into the wreckage, buys the assets for pennies on the dollar, and collects the value that the original builders paid for. Now, think about this. Railway mania in the 1840s, same cycle. Fiber optic cable in the late 90s, same cycle. The shale oil boom around 2014, same cycle. 3 different centuries. 3 different technologies. Nothing in common except one thing. The exact same pattern playing out underneath all of it. And now artificial intelligence is in step 2, the boom. The question is whether we're about to enter step 3. Let me show you the evidence. A Harvard economist named Jason Furman ran the numbers. In the first half of 2025, AI build-out, information processing equipment and software investment, was only about 4% of GDP. But it accounted for roughly 92% of all growth in the US economy. 92%. Strip out the AI investment, and the US economy grew at 1/10%. That's not a technology cycle. That's an economy balanced on a single bet. And that bet is being funded, partially, with what looks like circular money. You may have seen that chart that looks like a circuit board, with arrows between all the big AI companies. Follow any arrow and it loops back to one place. Nvidia funds OpenAI. OpenAI pays Oracle. Oracle buys Nvidia chips. The same money moves in a circle. And every time it passes a hand, it gets counted again as new revenue. This is not a conspiracy theory. Activist hedge fund Buxton Helmsley flagged it immediately. Vendor financing does not simply add risk at the margin, it manufactures the appearance of end demand. This is exactly what happened in the fiber bubble. Equipment makers like Lucent and Nortel lent their own customers the money to buy the gear, then booked it as revenue, validated the growth narrative, propped up valuations, until the moment the sellers could no longer extend credit. Sound familiar? Now, here's the part most people get wrong. The question isn't, is AI going to change the world? Of course it is. The question is, who pays for it, who drowns in it, and who inherits? Look at OpenAI. 2 years ago, they were AI. ChatGPT had no real competition. Then Google, Anthropic, Meta, xAI, a dozen others, all showed up selling more or less the same thing. And last year, OpenAI's financials leaked. They lost $38.5 billion in 2025. Nearly 8 times their loss from the year before. But the real story isn't the headline number. It's what's buried a few lines down. OpenAI's sales and marketing spend jumped more than 400% in a single year, to $5.7 billion. That's 44% of their entire revenue, spent just to keep people using the product. That's the cost of the boom. Returns are falling. Exactly as they fell for railways. Exactly as they fell for fiber. Exactly as they fell for shale. There's an old line in business. The pioneers get the arrows, and the settlers get the land. The first companies into a new market take the risk, the losses, the resistance. Then the later arrivals walk in after everything has stabilized and quietly take the prize, without ever taking the arrows. The real story isn't whether AI is a bubble. It's who floods in, who drowns, and who walks away with everything. That's what we track here. Subscribe to Vector Tech AI. We break down a new AI business story every week.